Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you part 2 of all the bags that I sold from my previously huge bag collection. I'm going to share with you all the resellers I used, the price quotes they offered, and what I ultimately sold them for. If you haven't checked out my last video, I explained that I was really trying to simplify my life and cut down and curate my bag collection. Part of the reason for that is I'm moving in the next few years, but I really also just want to cut down on the pieces that I'm no longer using or wearing or carrying. Also, my style has changed and I'm really trying to stick with more capsule pieces that will really withstand the test of time and just suit my style more these days. I've kind of steered away from huge logos and brandings, and I just really want some classic colors, classic pieces that I can wear with other existing items in my wardrobe that can transition through the seasons and mix and match with all of my other existing pieces. That's why I'm so excited to once again partner with Quince. Thank you so much, Quince, for sponsoring this video. Quince chooses premium materials and designs that stand the test of time. They keep prices low by using a factory direct model that cuts out the supply chain middleman and reduce costs so that everyone can have access to nice things. They also offer free shipping on all orders, and you have 365 days for returns. I love that their pieces are made with 100% natural fibers, whether it's 100% leather jacket or 100% cotton clothes. I traveled to Japan and the Philippines earlier this year during the spring, so it was a lot of transitional weather. The Philippines was really hot and Japan was really cold. So I packed a lot of Quince pieces in my wardrobe, and it was just perfect for the transitional weather and seasons, and I could easily mix and match and create different outfits during my travels. I just got in some new cashmere pieces from Quince, and I'm so excited to style them for this coming fall and winter. Their cashmere is super soft and smooth. I have on today the Mongolian cashmere fisherman cropped cardigan. It's in this really nice neutral brown. I got it in the size small and it fits perfectly. It's got these really cool little tortoiseshell buttons. And underneath I have on the Mongolian cashmere cropped v-neck cardigan in black, and I got in a size medium just because I wanted it to be a little longer. But these two tops pair so well with a pair of jeans if I want to be casual. I also have the matching cashmere midi skirt that I just love and can also be dressed up or down. Here's a close-up of some of the new pieces I got from the new revamped cashmere collection from Quince. I love cashmere, but I hate the price tag, and so I'm glad that Quince offers such a great affordable option. A lot of their cashmere pieces start at right under $50, so it's a great alternative if you're looking for luxury cashmere at an affordable price. They use an enhanced yarn tension on their cashmere, so it is super soft and cozy, perfect for the cooler weather. I love to pair this crop tank with the midi skirt because it's just very versatile. I can dress it up or down. It hits me at the perfect length. Their cashmere also has an advanced pilling resistance, so it stays smoother and more durable and looks a lot newer longer. Again, I love to throw on the oversized cardigan over my outfits. I can mix and match all of the neutral colors, and it just goes well with everything, especially when I'm traveling. I also got this mock sweater vest for the days when I want to be a little more covered up. Again, I can throw a cardigan over it, and especially here in Georgia when it is still 90 degrees in September, it's a great way to transition into the different seasons. Or if I'm feeling chilly, I can always bundle myself up in the Mongolian cashmere wrap. I got it in navy because I just love blue, and I love that it's nice and neutral and it can pair with either black or even brown or white or any of my other neutral pieces. I am definitely most excited about this. This is the Mongolian cashmere full zip hoodie. I love hoodies. I love athleisure. I love an elevated basic. And so I got the cashmere hoodie in the size small. It fits me perfectly. And I also got the matching cashmere sweatpants. This is the first pair of cashmere sweatpants that I own. I also got it in the small. I love matching sets, and both pieces are super soft and cozy and breathable. So it's nice and cooling when it needs to be, but it will be nice and warm and cozy when it gets a little cooler. Everything I talk about will be linked in the description below, so you can go ahead and click to shop. Okay, we're going to dive right back into where I last left off. So in part 1, I got up to the 14th bag. So we went through bags 1 to 14 for a total of $27,275 of bags that I sold for those 14. The 15th bag I sold was, I think this was the first truly vintage bag in my collection. It was the Dior Vintage Saddle shoulder bag in the burgundy oblique pattern, like the Dior oblique pattern, but in burgundy. I initially wanted it in the navy when I was shopping around for this. I remember it was during like the thick of COVID and I couldn't find it, but I was able to get the burgundy one, and I ended up selling it because I truly never wore it one time. It was such a unique, odd shape for me. It just didn't really sit on my shoulder right, and I really just couldn't fit anything. I like that it had a back slip pocket for my phone, but I just never used it. So that bag, I think because it was a vintage bag, I didn't even bother submitting it to What Goes Around Comes Around or Fashion File. I just instantly accepted the Rebag instant buyout quote. They quoted me $1,240, so $1,240. I shipped it out. It was delivered 4 days later, and they paid me 14 days later. But it was another instance where they revised their initial offer. So they initially quoted me $1,240. Once they received it, they revised it again, I think due to wear or whatever. It's a vintage bag. So I mentioned this in the first video, but when Rebag does their instant buyout offer quotes, they use this AI technology to scan the initial picture. So the final offer depends on the final inspection once they receive it. So the final quote went from $1,240 to the revised offer of $1,130 for the Dior Vintage Saddle. And I just went ahead and accepted it because if you watch my first video, I explained I just didn't want to deal with a lot of back and forth and dealing with individual private sellers. I just wanted to kind of offload a bunch of bags to resellers, which is what I did. So primarily I used Rebag, Fashion File, or What Goes Around Comes Around. So that was bag number 15. Bag number 16 was not technically a bag. It's actually an accessory. This is from Bulgari. This was my one and only Bulgari bag that I sold. And I don't think I actually showed this on my channel. I ended up not doing a video about all the duty-free shopping that I did at airports when I traveled to the Philippines and Japan earlier this year. But I did a lot of shopping, a lot of duty-free, tax-free shopping, and I ended up buying this Bulgari phone holder from the Bulgari in the Qatar airport. It was on sale. I think I paid around, I feel like it was $800. It was 50% or 40 or 50% off retail. I just decided I don't really truly need it as much as I like it. I really do like Bulgari bags. I never showed it on my channel, but I just, out of curiosity, I was curious to see what resellers would offer. So Fashion File, it was a very lowball offer. They offered $200. I think What Goes Around Comes Around rejected it, and I accepted Rebag's offer of $580. The next bag I sold was bag number 17, and this was the first bag that I think I truly actually made a profit, and it was a vintage bag. This was a Chanel denim flap bag. I think the full official name is the Chanel Chocolate Bar East-West flap. It is called like the chocolate bar because it has these quilts that look like little squares, like a chocolate bar. And it was this denim. It was like a vintage denim. I really liked it, but it just was something that I really never wore. But it was a pretty good deal because I actually bought this in 2016. I paid $475 for this. I purchased it from, I think, one of those Japanese resellers on eBay. I paid $475 back in 2016. Rebag offered me $880 in the instant buyout quote, but when they received it, they again revised their offer because it really was kind of heavily used. It still was in good condition, but you could tell that it was just worn. I think they said it had an odor to it, probably again perfume. They revised their offer and I ended up getting $620. So still a pretty good deal. I technically still made a profit because I only bought it for $475. Bag number 18 was also from Chanel. This was the Chanel Half Moon wallet on chain. This was a really cool wallet on chain. I've owned a few over the years, and this was the one that I kind of held on to throughout this time. It was more of like a 90s, 80s vibe. I love the half moon, kind of a crescent design. It fit more and it was softer than the classic wallet on chain. So I kept it around for a while, but I really haven't used it a lot recently. Yeah, I don't really use it because the chain strap is very long, even as a crossbody on me. It's too long. I think it goes past my arm length. So it's hard for me to use it. So I decided to go ahead and part ways with it. I didn't get a quote from other resellers, and I ended up selling it to Rebag for $1,230. The next bag that I sold, number 19, also from Chanel. This was the Chanel Vanity train case. This was their true makeup cosmetic case. I actually didn't even buy it from a Chanel leather goods or accessories boutique. I bought it from like a Chanel standalone beauty store where they sometimes sell makeup bags. This is part of, their makeup bags, accessories. I made a mistake with this sale because I really jumped the gun. I was on a roll with selling all these bags and getting quotes that I got an instant buyout quote from Rebag that I just accepted, and I shipped it out right away, and I really kicked myself. I really shouldn't have done that because Rebag offered, and I accepted their offer of $1,275. Fashion File, surprisingly, with the majority of the other bags, Fashion File was almost lowballing a lot, or their offer was either significantly or just consistently less than Rebag or What Goes Around Comes Around. It just was kind of hit or miss. So I just assumed wrongfully that they would offer less, but Fashion File actually offered $1,500, and I didn't get that quote back until I had already sent it out to Rebag for $1,275. So I could have made, another $225, but that was my bad. So I sold it to Rebag for $1,275, my Chanel vanity train case. Bag number 20 that I sold was a Dior vanity train case. This was in a limited edition Palms collection, and I have a lot of train cases. I just was like, I have too many. And considering the fact that I often receive these gifts with purchase, of a train case with a beauty purchase, I decided I really didn't need multiple designer train cases. So I decided to go ahead and sell this one. I think What Goes Around Comes Around passed on this one. I don't have a final quote from them. I ended up selling it to Fashion File for $1,000. When I purchased this, it was on sale. I don't know if you guys know this. Dior stuff goes on sale. They have seasonal sales, and this was one of the seasonal items that I got on sale. So I fortunately didn't pay full price for it, but $1,000 I thought was okay for something that I never ever used. The next item, number 21, is the first true accessory, small leather good accessory that you really couldn't use this as a bag. It was the Louis Vuitton toiletry case. I sold this because I do have several other LV Nice train cases, and then I have a vintage LV Trousse Toilette, which I actually prefer that style. It's more pliable. It's just easier to use. The LV toiletry case, it is soft-sided, but I just never really used it. So I don't know what they retail for. I forgot what I paid. I paid full price for it, but I decided to just sell it. Fashion File really lowballed with that one. They offered only $225, and I accepted Rebag's offer of $400. Bag number 22 is another bag that I didn't even show on my channel because I just bought it at the same time that I bought the Bulgari phone holder. I got this Fendi wallet on chain baguette, and I got this also at the Qatar airport. So I saved on taxes. It was duty free. It was a really good conversion rate. I don't recall what I paid, but it was definitely way less than what the retail price of this is. Rebag offered $775. What Goes Around Comes Around, I think, passed on this because I don't have an offer from them, but I accepted Fashion File's offer of $800. I don't own a Fendi wallet on chain, and I really like this design. I actually initially, when I went into the boutique at the airport, I was looking for the Fendi phone holder, and they had it, but it was very narrow. I have a very large phone. I have the iPhone Pro Max. So I passed on that, and she was like, oh, have you seen this? It's the wallet on chain baguette. So it was the first time I saw it. I think it's a new-ish design, whatever, it's new to me. I really liked it. It held both of my phones. I carry usually two phones around. I just thought it was very cute. It was similar style as the regular baguette. And I love the Zucca print, the black and brown. I just don't need it. I have other Fendi bags, so I decided to sell it. The next bag, number 23, I had a hard time with this one. I was really hemming and hawing about whether to get rid of this, but ultimately I decided it just really didn't suit my lifestyle anymore. But it's the Dior large monogram oblique book tote. I've had several book totes over the years, but this was my first one. I love the original Dior navy oblique design, and I use it a lot, but again, I just don't really use those types of book tote style bags where it's just the top handle, there's no shoulder strap. The top handles actually can fit over my shoulder. I did a whole review video about this, the large style, but it just didn't really suit my lifestyle. I never use it for travel because it's awkward for me. If I'm traveling by plane, I needed to have the trolley pass through. I needed to have a shoulder strap. I needed to zip preferably. So I decided I love it, but it just doesn't suit me anymore. So I decided to part with it. And I did save on this because I purchased it from Hawaii. So I saved a lot because of the currency exchange. And also this was years and years ago. I don't know how much it retails for now. So I got quotes from all three resellers. Rebag offered a $1,130 buyout. Fashion File offered $1,250. And I ended up going with What Goes Around Comes Around for $1,850, less the $15 wire transfer fee. Bag number 24 also was a very difficult decision for me, but after just kind of sitting back and looking at my entire collection, I really didn't need this. As much as I really love it, I just didn't need it. This was the Goyard Mediterranee Travel Tote. If you watch my videos from Japan, and I did a ton of shopping over there, a lot of luxury shopping, the prices are lower, the conversion with the currency exchange was a lot better in our favor. I bought a few Goyard bags, and this was one of them. It was this huge foldable travel tote. And when I say huge, it was huge. You have to watch the video because I don't even have it anymore here to show you. But I really didn't need it. I really didn't need it. I am so particular about travel bags. It's like an aspirational travel bag for me. It's not practical. It has no compartments. It has no top. I wouldn't use it for the beach. I would appreciate it from afar, but I wouldn't use it because it's just not practical. So I decided like I really need to not have this anymore. I, again, probably could have sold it for a lot more privately because Goyard is, I guess it's really in demand because they're very strict with, you know, the items that they sell in store, but I decided to sell it to one of the resellers. So Fashion File offered $1,100 and I accepted Rebag's offer of $1,840. And then the final bag I will talk about in this video, number 25. This was another vintage Chanel bag. And this was also a little difficult for me to part with, but I knew I just didn't use it or love it as much as someone else might. But it is the Chanel vintage rectangle flap in the small size in the most gorgeous black soft lambskin with gold hardware. It is so pretty. It's a double flap. It's got the burgundy lining. And I got this vintage from another reseller. I bought it with the full set. It had the original box, the original dust bag, the authenticity card. It had everything. I used it a few times. It's just very dressy, so I pretty much only use it for special occasions. I think I use it to a couple weddings. And it's just not a bag that I would wear every day. It's so delicate, but it's so beautiful. And it just didn't suit me anymore, so I decided to part with it. I don't even want to know how much Chanel flap bags sell for now. This is vintage, and it's that beautiful vintage quality. So for this Chanel vintage small rectangle flap, Rebag offered $2,770, which I thought was pretty low. Then I ended up accepting Fashion File's offer of $3,000, and they, you know, I shipped it out. They paid me. I think the total time frame was about 10 days. Yeah, so maybe like 10 days from when I shipped it to them to when I got paid. But $3,000, I would rather have $3,000 in the bank than a bag that sits on the shelf unused. All right, guys, those are just a few more bags that I ended up selling as I am on this journey to whittle down and curate my bag collection. I will definitely follow up with my final bag collection once I'm done selling everything, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.